connections like sex are really actually important manifestation tools. And if we're really unintentional and unconscious with that energy and those tools, we can really mess ourselves up. On the same hand, if we are really conscious and really intentional with those tools, we can use them for the betterment of our lives and the lives of those around us. Now, I know that everybody has their own individual views, feelings, and right way to do things. And don't get me wrong, I haven't always done things the way that I do them now. And I have done things lots of different ways. I've done the non-monogamy. I've been married twice. I'm technically still married. I've been alone. I've been united. I've been totally against having sex. I've been totally for having sex. I've been free with myself, and then there's been times where I've closed myself off. And all of those times and situations have really made me contemplate super deeply what that energy can do in your life. And depending on where you are in your own path and journey, depends on what's right for you. Now, for me, when I was in a time of partying and just pure indulgent enjoyment in my life, for me, sex was really, really important and quite a large focus. I had this be-all and end-all that the sex had to be great if you were with somebody, and it was, usually. And I also had this kind of be-all and end-all that if the sex wasn't great, then how could you stay? And if you weren't having any sex, or there was large gaps between getting some and not getting some, then what's the point in the relationship, right? Well, I've definitely changed a lot. A way lot. After the last few, let's say, 5 to 7 years, I've really realized something massive about myself. That yes, sex and intimacy is hugely important to how we interact with each other and how we fill our cups and how we feel connected and intermeshed with each other. But there's also this side of me that really, really, really doesn't want to share intimacy and romance and sex in that way with anybody who is any less than 100% clear, committed, and intentional about the relationship that they're having with me. And that's a really, really big ask. That's something I don't expect many people, if any, to be able to actually achieve. Some people might think I'm setting myself up for failure, but actually I feel like I'm protecting my heart and my soul and myself a whole lot more by making this choice and this decision in myself. So essentially, I'm choosing celibacy over fleeting connection. I'm choosing to put my manifestation sex energy into something that is going to be sustainably filling my cup, not momentarily filling my cup, not transiently filling my cup, but actually truly sustainably filling my cup. And can I fill that cup back? Am I able to be there and support and contain the other the way that they need? And if the answer is not a resounding, screaming, earth-shattering, echoing yes, then it's not happening. And I'm sorry, biology. I'm sorry when my body gets tingles and chills and it just wants to run with that feeling and run with pleasure and run with desire. That has gotten me into so much heartache and distress and trauma in my life that I'm just not playing that game anymore, biology. You can straight up get not fucked anymore. Because it's not about sex. It's about building amazing energy, magic together. I am a conduit for source energy, for divine creation, and nothing less than absolute divine honor in the form of sacred union is allowed in. And I'm really proud. That makes me really happy. And more than anything in this world, that makes me really confident in myself and safe. That makes me feel untouchable. And I love that because I meet everybody on this level of absolute open love, knowing that they're not allowed any closer. That there's just a certain amount of me that the price is way too high for anyone to pay, so nobody's getting it. And that actually makes me feel like a treasure. That makes me feel like the highest of the highest priestesses in my own heart, in my own temple of my own body. It's got nothing to do with anybody else being good enough or not good enough. It's got everything to do with holding myself higher than I ever have before and holding myself accountable, seriously accountable. Physical desires are not as important as emotional, sustainable connection for me anymore. When I was 20, it was a completely different story. I have got no interest whatsoever in anything less than total nourishing union. And for me, I really feel that in this world, I don't see that very often. It's kind of like unicorns. Lots of people believe it exists, but nobody's ever really seen one. And that doesn't put me off at all. It doesn't put me off that I might have to take lifetimes and several different incarnations to find this divine union. But that's okay. That is totally okay. If that's how it's meant to be, that's how it's meant to be. Because for me, it is about that containment of that relationship, that containment of each other's spirits and hearts and souls, knowing that by touching each other's bodies, you are touching the wellspring of all of everything that they are, have been, and will ever be. In this way that if you understand what you're being accepted, allowed, invited into, the creation possibility, the magical manifestation that can arise from that is just gonna be so beyond epic that no matter what the cost might look like on the outside, it will always feel worth it. 100%, there will never be a question. And that's how I am intending for myself to move forward as far as intimacy energy goes, I move forward with my crown polished and shining, and reminding myself of my worth, and reminding myself no fleeting interaction, no physical pleasure of gain is worth losing that momentum of energy, even for the tiniest split second, even for a nanosecond. That energy of creation I hold separate and apart from all others, and I hold that creation energy aside for one and only one. I don't know who they are. I don't know if they will come in this lifetime, but when I meet you, I'll know. Maybe you won't, and maybe that'll mean things don't work out this lifetime, and that's okay. Maybe I've already met that person and it already hasn't worked out, and that's okay too, because my crown is being held high and shining, because I know my worth and my value, and it is more than any amount of wooing or romantic gestures. It's a sustainable long-term investment. I don't need tips to fill my cup. I need serious investment. And if you're not bringing your worth to invest long time, long term, then keep it with all love and all gratitude and all honor, respect. Keep it. Keep your energy. Keep your intentions in your pants. If you can't support and contain a woman or a partner, this goes for women as well, don't be playing with no men's hearts there, ladies. They might not understand it, but I think this goes for everybody. I think we are way too frivolous with our sexual energy, and I think we think it's this thing and it's all about just pleasure, and it's so not. It's all about intention and creation. And if you are intending to pleasure everybody that crosses your path, that gives you the opportunity to do that with you, then you are not investing in long-term sustainability, nutritional connection. That's junk food. That's the junk food of the soul. And for me, I banished all junk food from my life, and now highest nutritional content allowed only, including genitals. Don't bring them. Keep them in your package, zipped up tight. I don't want to know about it. Show me. Show me your heart. Show me your truth. Show me your intention. Don't show me your dick pic. So anyway, that's my little moment of contemplation for today. I'm really interested to see who else contemplates these things. Feel free to converse. Feel free to let me know what you think, if you think, how you think. Very, very interesting. Anyway, that's enough for my contemplation hydration today. So above all else, remember your own worth and love yourself first and foremost. Hold yourself accountable and above all others. And once you do that, you can start to love other people, because you can see the truth of it, that we're all connected. And we don't need to go dipping into each other in order to be fully connected and here and together on the planet. And remember, above all, that I love you too. Deeply, honestly, truly.